And it's really interesting how something that has such a terrible success rate is doing well still. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Solopreneur Recruiter. This is probably going to be a quick one. This was just a quick thought that I had today. So I have another YouTube channel where I've just been kind of throwing shit against the wall, trying to make some interesting videos, and somehow landed on MLMs and pyramid schemes, and that's like a kind of a hot topic on YouTube. People attacking that whole world. And what is this? So how is this attached to our recruiting agencies? And I guess the mindset and what I'm trying to connect here is, why do they work? And the Federal Trade Commission says 99% of people do not make money, an absurdly high rate. And still you see a lot of people entering into them. I know people in high school that I saw recently, a bunch of people from high school, girls actually, that have hopped into that world. And it's really interesting how something that has such a terrible success rate is doing well still. It's with all this transparency, with all that's out there on YouTube, Google. If they just did a simple search, and maybe they have that, it's still powerful enough to pull all these people in and continue to make money. What is this psychology behind all of this, and what does it mean for our sales process? And I'm not in any means going to be using any piece of MLM's, I guess, selling tactics or sauce that they're using on people, but I just found it interesting to think about what is really their goal. So what they have here, and what these people at the top, the CEOs and the owners of these companies, is they have these products that are in very saturated markets. The number one thing that anybody that's been in sales or marketing for a long time understands that it is very, very powerful is the power of social proof. It's absolutely massive. I mean, when you have a friend or a colleague or even a celebrity suggest, well, it's more of the friends. So the friends in this case, when they suggest a product or a service, the likelihood of you buying skyrockets. It's just, by the numbers, it's insane. And also there's things like feeding frenzies, which I find really interesting. So they ran studies about people having tables out and they were selling products, and they ran tests of people walking by with nobody at the table, and then people walking by with multiple people buying products at the table, and those numbers went up as well. So like that social proof from friends is big, and social proof from just seeing other people buy products is huge. And that's what these pyramid schemes understand, is that if they could sell a product and have those people suggest it to their friends and incentivize them to suggest it to their friends, they're going to sell a shit ton of product. How they did that was have all of these downline individuals that are buying the products have this idea in their mind that they're going to build this dream business, and then sell that idea to all of their friends and everybody in their circles. I mean, that's exactly what it is. They're pushing all these people to reach out to their aunts, their friends, their friends of friends, their cousins, anybody on their social accounts. They're getting in their DMs and peddling this product and hustling it with a dream. It's terrible because 99% of people don't make any money. They waste time. They embarrass themselves. Some people make money. Some people are still defending them. But it's from our perspective as recruiters that are trying to close clients, I think we have this idea that it's not a very human process with CEOs or VPs of sales. And I think the one thing that really surprised me when I got my first software sales job is how the first demos would go. It's a lot of storytelling. It's a lot of explaining different stories about current clients that had a specific problem, how we're solving it right now. And that storytelling and social proof and letting people know that you have other clients is big. And I think for a lot of people that might be listening to this podcast, or probably like 20 people that are watching this video, you're trying to get your first client, or you're trying to get your first 5 clients, and that's not there. You don't have that social proof. And that definitely puts you at a disadvantage, because I get these emails all the time, and I'm trying to build out my software even more. And even when I have people that are reaching out to me for software development, when I need it, if I don't see that social proof, if I feel like they're just getting started, I don't want to deal with the conversation. I don't want to take them on and then realize like, oh, they started a business and they're in the completely wrong business and I'm dealing with even more problems than I had before. There's a million things that go in my mind where I'm just trying to figure out reasons not to trust them, right? And unfortunately, that's the truth. And I think, by the way, go join the free Facebook group. We're going to continue to drip out ways to help you build trust in that process. But while you're trying to acquire this first, second, third client, this is exactly why I hammer on why it's so important to have a clean looking website, to have your email address set up with a business URL, to send that signal at the very least that I'm moving in this direction. I got my details covered. Every stone unturned, or whatever, is turned over. Doesn't fit there, but you know what I'm trying to say. You want to send those signals and build trust with those people because it really is a human process, even with some of the most wealthy people, CEOs, all of them. Here's another really good example in terms of branding is Mercedes-Benz. I believe, I don't know what year it was, maybe it was late 90s. We'll just say 1997, but there was a stretch of like 4 years where Mercedes-Benz was seen as one of the most unreliable cars on the market. And that's not just luxury cars. We're talking about all cars. The amount of times that these cars were breaking down, the percentage of people that had to deal with repairs and fixes and all of that stuff, it was, I think it put them in like the bottom 10 of brands out of, I think it was like 40 brands, I want to say. So they were in the rock bottom. But the thing is their sales were doing fine. And these sales, you're talking about people with money that were this thing was pounded into their brain, this feeling of wealth when they saw that emblem in that car and just having that trust, even though the trust should not have been there. Like that signaling and that branding is something that you're doing in your cold outreach, and you're giving a feeling to that person no matter what. And it's little things like having a logo, having a website, the way that you word all your emails, the way that you carry yourself on the phone is a big one in that final call. Do you really trust in who you are as a recruiter? Are you going to build this business? All of that stuff feeds into that conversation. And I don't know, I find like MLMs are the low of the low of branding. And it's just crazy how a lot of times, I mean, the service and the product, it sometimes doesn't even matter. You can overcome that with sales and marketing. And what you're building, obviously, you're going to do a good job. You have a good service. You're going to be charging market price. All of it's going to be fair. You're passionate about your business. If you have bad branding, if those things are not there, you're putting yourself at a huge disadvantage. This is not just as simple as you have a problem, I'm going to solve it. You need to have all those other things checked off, all those other boxes checked off. Be sure to like and subscribe. Join that free Facebook group if you're building your recruiting agency. It's linked below in the YouTube video. If you're listening, appreciate you. If you can give me a review, if you get anything from these podcasts, I really appreciate it. Otherwise, it's late. Happy Friday. I got a sports podcast tonight that I'm pumped about.